Okay, welcome. Thanks for watching the replay. If you're in here, thanks for joining me. This is a quick scope. A couple of quick things. Whoops, stay there. Thanks for coming in. Welcome. Popping in, popping out. People come in as they do. That's right. Just get this thing to sit straight. I think that'll do. Yes, that works. Just doing a quick scope. Thanks for coming in. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. If you're staying, great. If you're not, bye. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. I'm waiting for a couple of friends to come in because they're regulars and I want to talk to them before too long. My hands, I'm not sure what it was. Thanks for joining me. My name is Barry Selby. Welcome to my scope. This is actually a little teaching today. This is Freeform Friday in my normal weekly love scopes. And I had a conversation with a prospect client this morning that really dropped in this piece, and I'll give it to you. Before I get there though, if you're here for the first time, thanks for joining me. Welcome to my scope. Make sure you are following me on Periscope, and please do me a favor of sharing this out on Periscope, on Twitter, and on LinkedIn. How do LinkedIn? That'd be strange. And put it on Facebook as well, so you can show your friends and bring them friends in the room as well. So thanks for coming in, thanks for joining me, and thanks for being in my scope. If you're on the replay, I appreciate you being here, and hopefully this will help you. Basically, this is a strange thing that came up in conversation. It's not the first time. Thank you for that, Linda. Thanks for sharing it out. This is something that, how to say this? This may sound weird when I explain it, but when I tell you, but when I explain it, it makes sense. In the title I put in my scope that this is ask and don't answer, or ask and wait, don't answer. And I'll explain what that means in a moment. I'm going to say this. So I'm going to break this down and explain it to you because I want to bring this out in a way that lands. And I probably should introduce myself before I get too far into this. My name is Barry Selby. I am a love and relationship expert, teacher, guide, author, best-selling author, and I've got an offer in my book. I'll tell you about that at the end. But what I want to speak, I don't speak French, sorry. But what I want to speak to is this habit we have of second-guessing ourselves. And we tend to, as I said, I don't speak French, sorry, no, Francais, no, don't speak the language. And this is an English scope because it's my scope, I'm doing it in English, so I trust you can watch this in English too. If you are joining me, thank you. Please share this out on Twitter and Periscope and share your friends on Facebook because this could be useful to somebody you know. So we have a habit as human beings of second-guessing ourselves, lying to ourselves, or asking questions that we don't want to answer, or I should say we give limiting answers to. So let me break this down. You may be saying, since my work's in the area of relationship, let me put it in this context. You may be single and saying, damn, I wish I could find a date, but I don't know how to. Or you may say, how am I going to ever find a date? Which is an interesting question, but we tend to answer it by saying, no, we'll never find one, because we doubt ourselves. And it's a circular pattern which keeps us stuck in the place we're in and keeps us limited. And what I suggested in the title, and I'm going to break this down in a second, is you ask, and then you wait, and you don't answer. And it's going to sound weird when I say it that way, but I'll explain what you mean in a moment. We have amazing faculty within us, amazing skills, gifts, and talents. But we tend to live in just the top, 5%, 10% of our awareness. And I've done a Periscope broadcast on this before about our tendency to try and run the show from the small part of ourselves and not include the rest of us. This point, this teaching, this key is absolutely fundamental in this area. And I didn't realize how important it was, so I talked to a client about this recently, and then again this morning with a prospect for a client, which is that we don't give ourselves the benefit of the doubt. We paint ourselves into this small box and think that's all there is, and it's not true. So what I want to speak to is, when you ask yourself something, first, ask directional questions that are positive. So instead of saying, how am I ever going to succeed at this, which may sound pretty negative, versus, how could I succeed at this? I mean, that's a simple switch, but that focus is useful to step into a positive focus for your question. Now, second part of this is, after you ask the question, don't answer it. the tendency we have as human beings, maybe it's just a guy thing, but I think it works for women too, is we think we need to answer the question immediately to solve it. So we say, how can I succeed at this? Well, actually, I don't know how to get there. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure who to do. I'm not sure who to talk to, blah, 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 blah. We make this whole list of things that block us from our answer. That's what I'm saying, don't answer and wait. What I'm actually asking you to do is allow the answer to show up authentically, naturally, without demand. What I'm actually telling you, or instructing, or inviting you to do, is to actually develop your intuition without actually trying to develop it. This is actually a subtle trick, in a way. So, if you have a question about something in your life, about maybe how to get somewhere, or how to meet somebody, or how to change something in your business, or how to take care of yourself more effectively. So let's take the last one, for example. So you might be saying to yourself something like, I'm really not happy the way I feel about myself. I wonder how I could do something better and take care of myself so I feel better and healthier. That's the question, and you leave it there. And when you leave it there, thanks for coming in, welcome joining my scope. When you leave it there, you now have opened a space, and actually an invitation for an answer to come through from somewhere else. Hey Bob, nice to have you here. So, thanks for joining me. By the way, if you're willing to share this out on Twitter and Periscope and on your friends on Facebook, it'd be much appreciated. This is this could be a turning point for some people. This point is this is a subtlety, and if you get this one, it can change your life. So I want to make sure this is landing for you. So again, recap. Pretty back to the beginning again. For those of you just joining in, I want to recap this briefly so you can catch up. We have a tendency to answer our own questions. Oh, wrong button. Wrong buttons. Hey, you two, nice to have you here. This scope is a freeform scope, by the way, and it's not specific just for a relationship, but this key could impact every area of your life, perhaps. So please watch and share this out again on Twitter and Periscope, Facebook, stuff like that. Good to see you too. Thanks for coming in. Well, this one's actually a point that came up out of a conversation with a client last week, and then with a prospect this morning. I thought, this is twice I've heard this. I need to say it again, but to the scope land, my friends out here. So please share this out on Periscope and Twitter again, as I've asked, and on Facebook. Much appreciated. If you're here for the first time, please make sure you follow me on Periscope, and I'll then explain this point again. So, when we tend to ask questions of ourselves, we tend to answer it automatically. And when we ask questions, we tend to ask limiting questions. So what I'm suggesting to you is, if you're asking something about, for example, health as a model, I mean, it's true for a relationship in sort of relationships, for dating, for business, for money, for any area of life, you can use this technique. When you ask, oh, well, thank you, Bob, I appreciate you adapting. I didn't realize it was that long. Yes. Almost at 1 million. Yes, I know, 910,000 hearts. Pretty cool. So, let me get on topic and stay on topic for this teaching piece, which is I didn't get how powerful it is, because this is actually a piece that can access your deepest insight and intelligence. So, you ask a question of yourself. For example, if you were someone who was wanting to get healthy and fit, just to be a subject off the top of my head, you might ask the question, how can I, well, we'll say something like this, like, how can I get healthy and fit when I keep doing bad things to myself? That's not very inspiring or very positive. So what I'm asking you to do is, first was frame the question positively. So, how can I take care of myself better than I'm doing so far? That's a neutral question, that's positive. But as I said in the title, you ask the question and then don't answer it. You wait, in fact. So we ask the question, how can I take care of myself better than I've done before? Leave it right there. Now the temptation may be, I've got to figure out an answer, think of an answer, because that's the trick inside of ourselves, is we think we need to answer the questions. But as I said before, or earlier in the scope, when we answer the question, we're answering from that little 5% of our brain that's active. And we have a whole resource of talent, like an archival library, and a massive compendium of knowledge that we can access if we don't rush in with the answer. So, you start with a question that is positive and directional to where you want to go. And it works in the area of relationships or business or money as well, but also works in the area of health, in this example. So you say to yourself, how can I take care of myself better than I've done before? Leave the question there, like on a hook, without an answer, and then see what happens. Because if you don't answer the question, exactly, in the silence. Perfect, Bob. So if we are someone who is tempted to, which most of us are, to answer the question right off the bat because we think we're fast and smart and everything else, let it go. Simply ask the question and then do nothing. And wait. Go about your day, do what you're doing in your other life and everything else. And it may be an hour or two later, it might be the next day even. But you might start noticing a thought or an idea or an inspiration start to appear. It may even flash like a lightning bolt, or it might just appear gently. But what will happen is you'll start to discover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different answers to that question that are actually very powerful and functional. You might be amazed by what you already know. And this is what I think is so cool about this. This technique wasn't in any area. And for example, in the area of dating, you're much smarter when you close your mouth. Yes, I know the one too. And the thing is also, when we're in dialogue, just to add another layer to this, when we're in dialogue with somebody, they may ask a question, start talking, and we're already busy formulating our answer in here. So what if you don't? What if you simply sit with the question and give it a second, a pause? It may be uncomfortable, you may not want to, but if you back it up and go, you know what, I'm just going to sit with this for a moment, and then an answer percolate, you might find an answer comes up that's much more powerful, more profound, and more useful than what you already would have said in response. And the other thing is you have the chance to digest what they were saying. So that is something I recommend. So the spin on this is really about, we tend to rush in with answers because that's what we're trained to do. What I'm inviting you to do is to not do that. In fact, be open and available to an answer that could show up from a whole other place. And that could be very powerful and life-changing for you. So that's kind of the teaching I want to put into this. It came up recently. I want to just put it into the broadcast as something to inspire with. Yeah, that's kind of it. And any questions or thoughts? I saw from Barb, you got some thought from that. So Daniel, nice to see you, sir. Thanks for joining my scope. Yeah, exactly. Take the time and be peaceful so you can actually see what happens. So that's why I think it's a good thing to have. So, I really think it's important to take care of ourselves in a positive spin way. So, Barbie Lee, excuse me, sorry. So I didn't realize your handle was, I couldn't tell if it was like two names together or one. So Barbie Lee, thank you for reminding me. Also, by the way, for those of you who are interested, if you know I am #1 best-selling author, teacher, guide about relationships, I understand I respect you for asking, let me know I can do it right. I'm actually offering right now, doing a flash sale on the ebook version of my book. My book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, is a book for singles, couples, men and women, transformational 50 principles for healthy relationships. And I'm doing a flash sale on the ebook. The physical book is like $25. The ebook is like $12.95, $13. Right now it's on sale for just $7. You can pay $7, download it, have your inbox, and be working on it, reading it right now. The link is in my title, and basically, you want it, awesome. The book is in my title, and here's the, whoops. Sweet, there we go. That's my book right there on the page. And this is the information about it. It is the flash sale. And basically, if you go to barryselby.com/ebook, and all the information about the book is here, blah, 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 blah. And it's on sale for special deal. I didn't put the price there. Well, it's $7. So there's some different testimonials. So again, if you go to barryselby.com/ebook, that's where you find the link. And it's I put up on this scope, so you find it there. And it'll help you discover more about love and relationships. So I highly recommend you go get it. That's why I'm doing a sale. So that's really my scope for today. Whoops. Straighten it up a bit. Hope this helps you. This is a little principle and teaching that I give out once in a while, that I do smart stuff once in a while. And this one came up as a thing to share, so I hope it helps. Thanks for joining, and thanks for being in my scope. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to sign off now because I've got to do some other things. And I invite you to take care of yourselves. If you want help in the area of relationships, this is my speciality in my work. Just check out my website. Click on the Let's. Oh, you are. Thank you, Barbie Lee. Fix that. And if you want to get more help in the area of relationship, please reach out. My website is full of information and useful tips. My archives are on catch.me. And you can also go to the Let's Chat, the first button. Gail, haven't seen you on scope for a while. Nice to see you. Just wrapping up my scope. Sorry, kid. You missed me. Well, you know what? Just for you, I'll recap quickly. It was good to have you back. We need to catch up. We haven't talked for a while. Let me give you the teaching in a nutshell, Gail, because yes, you're messing with me. Well, let me give you that teaching now so you have it. Since you joined late, but I love you, so I want to give you the key. I'm English, yes. I live in the States, but I'm English. So here's the teaching. Very simple. Those of you who already watched it, you can hang up now. If you want to watch it again, you can catch it as I do it in abbreviated format. We have a tendency, real quick, to ask questions, first of all, that aren't positive or directional. And secondly, we think we can answer the question straight away without any thinking. Bad move. If you want to really ask questions that give you the right answers, first of all, ask important questions. Ask directional questions. That's the word. Look at directional questions, so you really get clarity. Instead of saying, something along the lines of, "How can I stop doing this bad habit?" versus, "How can I create a new way of doing something?" Now, I'm doing it generically because I can use this in any area: relationships, business, money, health, any area it works in. First of all, ask a question that is positively framed and directional. The second thing is you don't answer it. Don't answer it. In fact, what I'm saying is when you ask the question, pause. Because the reflex is to try and answer it. But as I mentioned earlier, you're tempted to answer it from your conscious mind, which is the little 5% of your awareness that doesn't have all the resources. So you let the question sit. Yes, the idea is you let the question sit, and it's kind of like an open, in NLP they call it open loops. Yeah, open loops. But it works in everyday life. By asking the question without an answer, you let it sit there. Especially if it's a positive, directional, and intentional question of where you want to go in some area. Let it sit. What happens is, your environment, and they didn't say this earlier, but I'll say it now, this habit will put you in a place where you will, I can say this, your universe, if you need that metaphysical term, awesome, thank you, Bobby Lee. You'll have space, in fact, Julie, no, I don't speak French. You create space, yes, indeed, for your intuition, first of all, so the deeper part of yourself can answer the question with all the resources and knowledge you have inside, which is way deeper than your mental capacity usually has. Secondly, you also have access to things around you, because what happens is if you ask the question, when you're out in the world, the universe, your environment, your world around you might give you answers back you didn't expect. Because your question creates an awareness or a focus to look for certain things. So what happens is you become more of a magnet for those sort of answers. So for example, in my business, I'm saying, well, how can I make a difference in someone's life today? Then I might find when I'm out in the world, I meet somebody trying to open the door for them, help them with their bags to their car or something, anything like that. So it's being resourceful by asking the question without giving the answer right away. That's really the teaching. So freeform. That's really what it was about. So Gail, that's the distillation of my scope. You can watch the whole thing if you want to. I did mention earlier, which I'd not sure if you caught that, I am doing a flash sale on my book today, right now. The link's in my title, which is barryselby.com. Yes, Reverend Michael Beckwith is my teacher. I didn't know, well, that's cool, you know him. You're already scanning the book, I love it. So yes, I am doing a flash sale on my book, if you're interested. If you go to barryselby.com/ebook. Thank you, Gail. Oh, you did? Thank you. Yes, you can get the book for $7 instead of 13. So it's a bargain deal. I mean, it's basically 50 principles for $7 is 7 principles a buck. Oh, it's right, he's in London. You're going to see him tomorrow. Gail, please give him my love. Tell him that we know each other. That'd be so much fun. Yeah, I'll be seeing him next week when he gets back. Wow, I love all these connections to Agape and Reverend Michael. Yes, I've been going to Agape and Reverend Michael's been my teacher for 22 years. So, oh, it's so cool. Well, Gail, I want to see you one of these days. I'm actually going to be in London in October. Well, in England in October, so we'll talk then. Oh, you went to Agape too, Barbie Lee. Cool. Wonder if we cross paths. Yeah, I've been going since 94, so my home. Yes, and we have our Revelation conference at the end of the month, which is going to be fun. That's 4 days of insanity and great stuff. Yes, yeah, we'll figure out time to meet when I'm there. But we'll stay in touch anyway in between then and now. So that now and then. Then now, yes. Well, I'm coming out for my dad's 90th birthday. Actually, he's in July, but my brother's finish up his work, so we'll meet there in October. Be in Worthing. And then I'm going to be up in London because I want to see, yes, we'll Skype. Because I have friends I have Periscope friends, like yourself and other people, in London, in Leeds, and other places too. So you're back in August. Cool, I should be in town, so come say hi. I'll be at Agape every Sunday, every Wednesday. Yes, they're very cool. Love that, that's so sweet. All right, I'm going to sign off because I got things to get done. Thanks for watching my scope. Thanks for being here. And Gail, you have some message and we'll talk. And Bobby Lee, thanks for getting my book. I hope it is of use to you and beneficial to you as well. And I'm going to sign off. All right, folks, take care of yourselves, loves, and have a nice day. And love yourself more today than you did yesterday, because it will change your life. You're welcome, Bobby Lee. Thank you for getting it, and hopefully change your life. I'll see you folks later. Take care. Bye.